at 3:30.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Once again, thank you, Mr. Secretary, for joining us. As a result of an agreement last December, the estate tax for the next 2 years will be imposed at a top rate of 35% with a $5 million exemption. And effective for 2013, President Obama has proposed to make permanent the estate tax parameters that were in effect 2009, a top rate of 45%, $3.5 million exemption, which would not be indexed for inflation. I'm a sixth-generation Kansan, raised on the family's dairy farm in Holton, and my kids are the seventh generation to grow up in eastern Kansas. Mr. Secretary, as you probably know, Kansas is an ag state, and I hope you have an importance for the, or an appreciation for the importance of the family farm to this nation. Do you even happen to know what the price of a new combine is?
I have never been a farmer, do not know, but I will say one thing, which is the agricultural community in the United States today is one of the strongest parts of the economy today, and you're seeing in exports of agriculture, in basic growth in agriculture, a lot of encouraging signs of how strong this country is in agriculture, and if we want to do everything we can to make sure we're reinforcing that.
And we feel like we're under attack here. A new combine cost over $300,000. A new tractor, over $225,000. That's with nothing attached to it. If you attach a high-priced implement, it's $170,000 on top of that. So as you can see, the cost of the necessary equipment to manage a farm can be quite high. In fact, it can easily top $1.5 million just in equipment. Several years back, the USDA did a study. There were nearly 11,000 Kansas family farmers that had land and buildings valued at over $2 million. So the cost of implements and land values, when added together, it's really not hard to get to the $3.5 million cap on estate tax that the President's budget is proposing. And in addition, I want to note the average net income on the family farm is approximately $45,000 a year. Now, I've heard the President state that everyone needs to pay their fair share of taxes, but under the President's proposal, it's not unreasonable to expect that a significant percent of Kansas family farms could be placed at risk when trying to comply with federal tax laws and most likely could not meet the capital requirements to maintain ownership between generations. So I just would like to see if you realize how this proposal negatively treats family farms. I would ask you, how do you advise family farms address this challenging issue? And perhaps as a follow-up, it's been promised that taxes wouldn't be raised on those earning below $250,000. With the net income of the family farm being $45,000 a year in Kansas, again, how do you explain hitting them with a tax increase that could cost many of them their livelihood?
Just very briefly, Mr. Secretary.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Again, the estate tax changes would only affect less than 0.5 of 1% of estates in any given year, including the families that you're concerned about in this Congress, and we share those concerns. One very important point. In the tax package passed by the Congress at the end of the year, the President proposed, and it was included in that, a provision for 1 year. Any business in the country can fully expense capital investment, fully write off against their taxes the cost of a new combine, a new tractor. And that's one reason you're seeing capital investment expenditures start to accelerate now in the beginning of the year. So again, if you look at the overall mix of things we're proposing, we put in place, they will substantially improve the capacity and the competitiveness of American businesses, American companies.
All right, thank you. Mr. Thompson's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here. And if the gentlewoman from Kansas is truly interested in saving family farms, I have a bill for you. See me after the hearing. I think it's important that we discuss this bill today, this budget today, on the same day we're beginning the debate